Princess's crown, a necklace that's round, a bracelet, a ring, just about anything.
Since Billy got his betta blocks, he plays for hours. He even took his old blocks out of the closet and started playing with them again.
Lori loves to play dress-up with her betta blocks. She even made me a handbag for work and a house for her dolls. I love them.
Let your children's imagination take flight with the complete 170-piece betta block set today. They're unbreakable, easy to use, and make playtime fun time for the whole family. And betta blocks join with all Lego-style block sets, including Tyco and Mega. Order the complete set of betta blocks right now, and you get 170 bendable, movable, and joinable betta blocks for just $19.95. Parents, remember, the fun never stops when you order betta blocks for your children. Call now.
Parents, to order the 170-piece Better Block set, use your credit card and call 1-800-257-1234. Or send check or money order for $19.95 plus $4.95 shipping and handling to Better Blocks, P.O. Box 2889, Atlanta, Georgia 30301. Parents, call 1-800-257-1234 now. Sorry, no CODs.
Michael, for heaven's sakes, will you relax? This is a celebration.
Some celebration. We're waiting for over half an hour for your father.
There he is. Here we are, Archie.
I see you there, Edith. How's a guy supposed to find this dope, huh? I've been wandering around the neighborhood for an hour.
Daddy, we gave you the address, and besides, Michael told you just ask anyone for Pasquale's.
I did ask for Pasquale's. A guy takes me into a little joint, another guy tries to half-sole my shoes.
Right, Daddy. I admit this isn't the fanciest restaurant in town, but it's our treat. And besides...
Oh, gee, yeah, that's right. You kids are springing for the tab. You sure you got enough money there, meathead? I mean, dinner for four in a palace like this could cost maybe $1.
You would lay off, huh, Arch? It's Miss Ma's birthday. Can't you have some respect for the occasion?
Come on. Eat to me. We never make no to-do about birthdays. A birthday's just the same as any other day of the year.
Don't you think you ought to propose a toast?
A toast? For what?
For Mom, for her birthday. That would be nice, Archie.
I told you before, your mother and me don't make no fuss about birthdays. And can't we eat here? Hey, waiter, can we have a menu over here?
Before I read the menu, Mrs. Bellini wrote down what I should order in an Italian restaurant.
The popcorn and settle in for some crazy, dirty fun. At 12:05, it's Men at Work. At 2:05, Real Genius. Followed at 4:05 with The Last American Virgin. It all starts at 12:05 Eastern, Saturday on PBS.
Hello again, everybody. Skip Carey back with you at the ballpark in Atlanta, where we have some news as of now, and the fire marshal still isn't 100% sure, but barring any last-minute discovery of some structural damage, it appears that this game will start between 9:30 and 9:45. That's what they're shooting for now. So we're going to operate on the assumption that this game will be played. You saw the fire marshal and Reggie Williams, who heads up the stadium authority, Stan Kasten, John Sherholz, all the gang trying to work this out. Some sections, mostly behind home plate, have been closed off, and that's the reason why you see the fire that hit us about 10 minutes to 6 tonight. It was a scary thing, but there were no injuries. But there's apparently no structural damage. If there is, trust me, they won't play the game. But they're going to try to play it, and our best estimate is somewhere between 9:30, probably closer to 9:45. The game will be played, and maybe we have a little extra news. Here's the president of the team, Stan Kasten. What's up?
We just met with the fire marshal and the building inspector. Everything is fine. He's walking it one last time. We expect to get definitive clearance in 5 minutes, and hopefully we'll have a first pitch at 9:40, maybe 9:30, something like that. That's what we're pushing for right now. Looks like we're a go.
Great, Stan. Thanks.
Okay.
Okay, that's straight. No offense intended, but straight from the horse's mouth. Game will start between 9:30 and 9:45, and it looks very good, but it wouldn't be right this time of the night after a 2-hour fire delay if we didn't let you hear a little and see a little of Andy Griffith. Then we'll be back somewhere in this ballpark to try to broadcast a game for you.
The following is a presentation of TBS
goes Nixon to the wall. He caught it! Unbelievable! Kiss this one goodbye. It's a slam. And down the stretch he comes. Here's the Braves win! Braves win! Braves win! Braves win! Braves win! Hello again, everybody. Along with Joe Simpson, we're finally ready to play some baseball at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium as the Braves and Cardinals will meet in Game 2 of this 3-game series. You know, we've had a 2-hour fire delay here. The press box is a shambles, so we've moved down the club level, down the right field line. You see what caused our problems earlier in the day. And, Joe, I'm amazed that they're going to get this game started as quickly as they are.
Absolutely incredible, and a tribute, I think, to our folks, too, to be able to set this equipment up this quickly and get this game on the air for you folks also.
It's been sort of a, forgive me, but sort of a fire drill here the last few minutes, but you're right. Our people have done a great job, and I'll tell you what, we're doing Fred McGriff a disservice. I think everybody's pointing the finger at him. He can't hit 150 home runs and drive in 600 runs. He's going to need some help from some of his teammates.
He's batting cleanup in the lineup tonight, and hopefully he can help the other guys around him. And certainly around the press area, it's going to need a little help, too, in the days to come. Let's take a look at the lineups, first of all, for Joe Torre. You'll have Alicea, Smith, and Gilkey. Todd Zeal hitting cleanup. Mark Quitten's last night's hero, along with Brian Jordan. Then Perry, Pagnazzi, and Rene Arocha, the pitcher. Defensively for the Braves in the outfield tonight, Gant, Sanders, and Justice. Pendleton, Blauser, Lemke, and Fred McGriff at first base. Damon Berryhill's behind the plate. Tom Glavine on the mound. And if you're wondering about personnel moves, the Braves have optioned Brian Hunter back to Richmond in order to make room for Fred McGriff. You look at Tom Glavine's numbers, going for his 12th win of the year. He has 2 shutouts. His walks and strikeouts almost equal in 137-plus innings. And he'll try to even this series up at a game apiece. Umpires for tonight's ball game, veteran Terry Tata behind the plate, Greg Bonet at first, Eric Gregg down at second base, and Wally Bell is at third.
And we're ready to go, and Fred McGriff is at his station. After the way this day has gone, I'm surprised he's not back in his car on 75 headed back to Tampa. Talked to him before the game, and he agreed he'll never forget his first day in a Braves uniform. Well, here we go. And Alicea takes a strike. 0-1, and we're underway. Boy, our crew did a sensational job to get this done.
Absolutely.
A ball and a strike to count.
An official 2-hour and 4-minute fire delay.
A ball and a strike is the count. This is like the old days here. The PA man should have a megaphone. 2 balls, 1 strike. Sharply hit, but right at Blauser. He's got it. And 1 is out. If we're a little hesitant tonight, folks, well, we're almost to first base. It's not a bad vantage point, but a very different one and hard to get used to. Ozzie Smith, the batter. But it beats where we would be.
But at first glimpse, it looks like Tom Glavine is really smoking tonight.
Oh, don't start. Don't start. Curve drops right in there. It's 0-1.
Can you believe how many folks stuck around to take this game in?
Well, more than I would think. A lot of seats behind home plate, of course, have been cordoned off because of the fire, which we understand was started inadvertently, of course, by a caterer in one of the luxury boxes. Rumor has it was the box of our radio station, but nobody's really sure of that. The 1-1. Curve, tap foul. Over past third, it's a ball and 2 strikes. Some other scores to pass along. I assume the scoreboard's working okay. Cleveland 8-5 over Oakland in the 8th. Baltimore 1-0 over Kansas City in the 8th. Seattle and New York 5-5. They're in the 7th. Looped into center field. Everybody chasing it. Gant on the run. So Sanders. Dion has it. 2 down. And Bernard Gilkey is the batter, and this guy having a good year. He's hitting .326. 6 homers and 31 runs driven in. How's our radio doing? Are they on?
They are very close to being on the air. Hard at it.
They should have simulcasted it. They'd be on now. That should end the inning. A 2-hopper to Blauser. 1, 2, 3, nothing doing. We go to the bottom half of the first inning. St. Louis nothing. Atlanta comes to bat. Deion Sanders will lead off the bottom half of the first inning for Atlanta. They're keeping score with us. Sanders, Blauser, and Gant the first 3. McGriff, Justice, and Pendleton. Barry Hill, Lemke, and Glavin. Rene Arocha deals a fastball outside. 1 ball, no strikes. This is the youngster from Cuba. He's 7-3, a 3.30 earned run average. He has walked only 11 men in 93 innings. That should be easy, and it is. 1 down.
Well, you don't often see a pitcher be able to jam Deion quite like that, but that was an excellent pitch by Arocha. You see his numbers, and as Skip told you, excellent control, but he has 51 strikeouts also, so averaging a strikeout about every other inning, and he's allowed 8 home runs on the year.
He got off to a great start, then ran into an injury problem. The fans continue to file in here. We're going to have about 20, 25,000. 0-1 the count. Here's those lineups we just gave you.
And you can see Ron Gant hitting 3rd tonight, Fred McGriff cleanup, David Justice 5th, and Pendleton 6th. That was the lineup a lot of people were speculating about as to how it would shake out. With a right-hander on the mound, it's still going to be Ron Gant batting 3rd.
0-2 is the count. A little bit inside, a ball and 2 strikes. Are we on radio now still, too? Does anybody know what's happening?
I believe we are.
Okay, so you television fans, bear with us. We're going to do a little radio thing until they get on the air. The pitch is strike 3 called, a breaking ball on the outside corner. Blauser is caught looking, and 2 are down. And Ron Gant will be the batter.
Arocha's 27 years old, 6 feet, 180 pounds. And for you folks watching on TV, you see not only does he have a pretty good tailing fastball, but a good slider as well, and that's what struck out Blauser.
Ron Gant is the batter. 2 out, nobody aboard. Fred McGriff moves on deck. 0-1 the count.
I understand a couple of more Cuban nationals defected when their amateur team was playing, I believe, up in Buffalo.
Yeah, one guy hopped over a fence and vanished, I know. Well, they got some great athletes over there, and he's got a good fastball, though he missed inside. A ball and a strike to count. One and 2 the count.
Ron Gant showing bunt, trying to get Todd Zeal to pull in a little bit, and I don't think that that's going to work because Zeal is going to play a little bit deeper.
Here's the pitch. Just missed inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, we think, is the count. Two out, nobody aboard. Little squibber to short. The Wizard of Oz has it. And the inning quickly comes to a close. Nothing doing. We've played 1, and we are scoreless.
Triumph.
We go to the second inning here in a scoreless game. Joe Simpson, Skip Carey with you. Here we are on the club level down the first base line. This is the new press box, at least for a day or 2. In a way, it's fortunate if this had to happen that it happened when it did. The Braves are about to go on their longest road trip of the year. It'll give the people here a chance to get their stadium straightened away after tomorrow night's contest. Glavin ready to go to work, and Todd Zeal leads it off against him. The Cardinal third baseman takes a strike on the outside corner. I happened to be standing outside the tunnel about 6:20 when the umpires showed up. You should have seen the expression on their face. What is going on there? The fire department did a great job, too. Once they got here, there was so much gridlock between the rush hour traffic and the traffic getting to the stadium. They had an awful time getting over here, but they took care of business in a hurry.
The impressive thing to me was that there were not any trucks in the stadium yet, but there was.
That's an easy. Whoops, we're on Radio 2. Fly ball right field. David Justice is there. He's got it. One down. Sorry, folks.
The impressive thing to me was suddenly you saw sprays of water in the midst of those raging flames. There were individuals in there with tanks trying to put the fire out, or at least start putting the fire out before the trucks even got inside the stadium.
Mark Whitten is the batter. He's been red hot. He had 3 home runs in the Houston series, hit one here last night, and made as good a throw as I've ever seen to gun down Ron Gant at the plate. Off stride, but he hit it hard to left field, and Ron Gant has it 2 down. He was out in front, but kept his hands back, hit the ball sharply, but out, and 2 are gone. 2 are gone. Here's Brian Jordan, the former football player. It's a time of year for 2-a-days for him, so he hit 2 home runs in a day here last night.
He's quite a bit bigger than his football counterpart, Deion Sanders.
Yeah, he was a strong safety, and you have to come up and, as they say, support the run. Jordan takes it high and outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
He's another guy that got off to a little bit of a slow start, and then after he was recalled from Louisville, he started getting red hot. And those are his numbers since he was recalled from AAA. For you folks on radio, hitting .333 since he came back.
The wind and the pitch to Jordan is low and outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Well, they served chicken in the press room tonight. Wound up a little extra crispy.
Here we go.
The 2-0 pitch. Squibb fouled on the first base line. It's 2-1. If you just joined us and you're watching on TV, where the reason we're talking so much is they can't get radio going here yet. Poor Rick Shaw is a man possessed. The 2-1 pitch, here it is. Swung, ground ball, past third and into the corner. And Jordan has himself a double. Ron Gant will play it out there. Runner at second with 2 out. There's the first base runner of the game for either team. And Gerald Perry will bat against the left-hander. Greg Jeffries out with a strained back.
Jordan's home runs last night came in back-to-back at-bats, his last 2 of the night. He follows that up with a double in his first at-bat tonight. Like the Braves were playing a little bit off the line for him, too. Not expecting him to pull the ball.
Perry 0 for 4 last night, struck out twice and into a double play, but he's having a good year, hitting .277. Jordan runs extremely well. A strike to Perry. It's 0-1. Any base hit to the outfield, you figure him to score. Jordan edges away the stretch. And the 0-1 pitch. Here it is. Swung and lined into right center field. Justice on the run. He's got it, and the inning is over. Perry hit the daylights out of it, but almost right at David Justice. So nothing doing in the second. 1 hit, no runs, no errors, 1 left. We go to the half of the second inning. No score in the ball game. A standing ovation for Fred McGriff as he leads off the bottom half of the second inning. And he tried to jack one right out of here, and he missed it 0-1. He's been around. He's a veteran player. But I'm sure he feels some butterflies. They put so much pressure on this guy. It's really unfair. The 0-1. A ball on his
One guy alone cannot make up the difference of 9 games. One guy can help other people around him and perhaps help them get some better pitches to hit.
Ground ball to first. Perry has it. He'll take it himself. In time, 1 down. McGriff gets a hand as he bounces out. That'll make him feel good. Here's David Justice. Talk with him just briefly before the game. McGriff, I'm talking about, he feels so sorry for the guy, the mob scene, and then all this happened up here. He's very happy to be here, and I think he's going to be a tremendous help to this club, not only on the field, but in the clubhouse. He's a solid guy. David Justice, the batter. Fast strike, 0-1, and if you joined us late again, Brian Hunter optioned to Richmond by the Atlanta team. Just prior to the game, after it was determined, McGriff was able to play it. Missed inside. He took some swings down in the cage under the stadium here to make sure that rib cage was all right.
And let's hope that it is, because that's the kind of thing that can linger for a whole season if you don't take care of it.
Curve is high, 2-1.
LaRoche's had some trouble with left-handed hitters. Maybe McGriff or Justice or perhaps Terry Pendleton batting left-handed can make their mark against him.
2 balls, 1 strike. The wind by Arocha and the pitch. That hit everybody on his way back except the hitter. 3-1 is now the count.
On the year, left-handers hitting .341 against Arocha.
And the right-hand hitters are really struggling, as you see. 3 balls, 1 strike. High pop foul back and out of play. That's up there where Angels fear to tread tonight.
Yes.
Three and 2, the count to Justice. We are scoreless in the bottom of the second. Pop foul back again. Good. The firemen are going to get themselves a souvenir. Yeah. They deserve it.
Yeah, they do. Got their own little section tonight.
Yeah, they're in tall cotton, aren't they?
They're getting a luxury box for free tonight.
That's right, but no vendors. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Line drive. Good play. Alicea, 2 down. Justice hit it right on the nose, but out, 2 away. And Terry Pendleton, the batter. You talked to Terry last night about the possibility of hitting in this spot in the order.
And he said it made no difference to him as you watch the line drive again. Pendleton said as long as he sees his name in the lineup, that's all he's concerned about. 6th absolutely doesn't matter.
At the moment, we're having a simulcast from the ballpark in Atlanta. That means the same audio on radio and TV. It's not that Pete and Don didn't show. They're here right down to our right, but can't get on the air yet. The wind and the pitch. Low and inside, 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch is outside. 2-0. Where are you sitting, Stan? You over in your box over there? That's great. The pitch is outside, and it's 3-0. Stan Caston just stopping by to laugh at us. He has no place to sit. But he just said, it isn't it amazing the number of people that are here, and he's right. They've got to be 35,000. Pendleton didn't get the high fastball. Cutting loose, 3-0. 3 balls, 1 strike. Pendleton out of the batter's box. 2 out, nobody aboard. Bottom of the second. Scoreless game. 2-hour fire delay here. Oh, that went right into the old
torch zone. I went over there to check out the radio booth a little bit ago, and you know that fan I brought to help keep us cool?
That $274 fan? Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I think it's $27.40 penalty.
High pop foul out of play.
I don't think we're going to be able to use it anymore.
No.
You see Pendleton, well, that's not Terry, but you see Pendleton swinging a lot, and he's been in the hole some in this series and in the Pirate series, partly because he's been a free swinger since early May. He's only had 5 walks since the first week of May.
The payoff pitch, here it is. High fly ball, twisting foul down the left side, and out of play into the seats. And another 3-2 will come your way.
And part of the reason I like this lineup the way it is right now, Skip, is that in the third spot in the order, Terry Pendleton's had more at-bats with men in scoring position than anybody on the team, and he struggled in that spot this year, hitting barely above 200, I believe, and it'll give an opportunity to Gant or to McGriff in those situations to come through.
Again, the 3-2 popped up. On the infield, Todd Zeal calls for it at third base. And he makes the catch. No hits, no runs, no errors, none left. The end of 2, no score.
What?
This telecast, authorized under rights granted by the Atlanta National League Baseball Club, intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Braves is prohibited. We go to the third inning here, and Tom Pagnozzi will lead it off in a scoreless game. In the other baseball, I don't know if our scoreboard is accurate at all. It has the Giants leading Montreal 7-0 in the 7th, and we know that's wrong. The pitch outside. The Giants won that game 8-3. Bill Swift picked up his 13th. I'm assuming that the others are right. The Reds easily handling the Cubs, Pirates over Houston, and Colorado winning Florida. A ball and a strike. They're underway in San Diego, the Mets batting in the first inning. Pagnozzi doesn't get that one.
Went in the clubhouse before the game started, and to my surprise, they had the training room all blocked off and had towels stuck in around the doors leading to the training room because smoke had filled up that portion of the clubhouse downstairs, too.
A little looper into short right field. Lemke is there. He's got it, one away. Pagnozzi is retired. Here's the pitcher, Aroche. He's hitting just .036. That's not too bueno.
1 for 28.
A little bilingual lingo there.
Yeah, that was good.
Thanks. 1 out, nobody on. Rocha doesn't get it. It's 0-1. He was out in front. It's 0-2. Tom Glavine has allowed just 1 hit, a 2 out. Brian Jordan double an inning ago. That takes care of him, and Glavine records his first strikeout of the night, his 59th of the year. He has 56 walks. It's amazing with that strikeout walk ratio that he's pitched as well as he has.
And he's certainly pitched better at home than on the road. A 1.8 ERA here.
Alicea bounced out his first time. Curve, strike, outside corner. It's 0-1.
For those of you who had tickets and didn't use them tonight, Braves have adopted the following ticket policy. Any fan with a paid, unused ticket may request a refund or exchange. Refunds may be made by mail only. Exchanges may be made by mail or at Gate G. Advanced ticket window at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium for any remaining game in '93, subject to availability, or any game in '94 when available.
Line left field. Gant coming on, but can't get there. Drops in front of him for a 2-out hit. He thought about diving for it, but wisely thought better of it. I commend the Braves for that. They wanted to play this game because business is so good. You disappoint all these fans because there's not room for them. So those who came are here, and then they'll try to do what they can for those who aren't. Ozzie Smith bats with a runner at first and 2 down. Ozzie flied to center on his first trip. Alicea edges away. That's popped up. Will it stay in play? Damon Berryhill has room. He's got it. He almost got Terry Tato with the mask, and the inning is over. 1 hit, but no runs, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom half of the 3rd inning in a scoreless game. Bottom half of the 3rd inning, Damon Berryhill leads it off for Atlanta. Wonder when that banner was made.
I don't know, but give them credit.
Precognition on their part.
I'll tell you somebody else that ought to be given some credit, too. While the most intense part of the fire was going on, Ed Mangan, the ground crew, head of the ground crew, had a hose and water and was watering the grass between the 3rd base line and the 3rd base dugout, just in case any sparks flew out on his grass.
Berryhill swings and foul tips, and it's 0-1. That's dedication above and beyond the call of duty.
That's a man proud of his work.
If you're listening on the radio network, we want to point out again, this is a simulcast because of technical problems. We're trying to get the radio broadcasts cranked up here, and they'll do it as soon as they can. The 0-1 pitch to the Atlanta catcher about to be made. Arosha Diaz just missed outside. A ball and a strike.
Started to say his hose unfortunately wouldn't reach far enough to do any good up in the booth.
Fouled away. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Berryhill, Lemke, and Glavendew here in the bottom of the 3rd. Right-hander is ready, and he deals a little bit outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch is hit off the body of Arosha. He recovers, however. Throws to first inside for the first out of the inning. Berryhill hit it sharply, but has nothing to show for it. Well, so far our offense hasn't been any better with Fred McGriff, but it hasn't been any worse. It's been just about the same. Nothing. Lemke stands in there.
Back in April, we said it's early.
It's not early anymore. Here comes Rick Shaw. First pitch outside, 1 ball, no strikes. And now it's 2-0 to Lemke. One out, nobody aboard in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. A strike to Lemke is in there, and it's 2-1. That's another nice, relaxing night in paradise here. The 2-1 pitch. Looped foul into the seats.
And what's the ruling on foul balls into that area that's roped off? Are fans allowed to go in there as long as they just reach over that tape, or are they allowed to step over, go back?
I haven't gotten a ruling yet.
Okay. Guess if no firemen are there.
Pop foul into the populated section of the seats behind 3rd. It's still 2-2. One out, nobody aboard. Arosha gets the sign from Pagnazzi and delivers. Swung ground ball. Zeal diving play from one knee, throws, but he beat it. Zeal chose not to get to his feet. It might have cost him on that ball. He got almost nothing on his throw, and Mark beat it out for the first Atlanta safety of the night.
I think he figured that if he didn't make the quick release from his knee, that he wasn't going to have time to get to his feet, and he wouldn't have. But these guys played some great defense last night, including Todd Zeal, who made a couple of fine plays. Just didn't have enough time to complete that one.
Talked to Joe Torre at length before the game. He's really happy with his ball club. He likes the attitude, the chemistry, and the talent of his team. See how the Braves play it here with Glavine up. He is swinging and hacks it to third with a runner going. Out at second, out at first, inning over, beautifully done. Second night in a row, we've gone to a 5-6-3 double play. And that takes care of things. The Braves gambled and the Braves lost their gamble. 1 hit, no runs, no errors, none left, and 3 innings have gone by. There's no score.
We go to the top half of the 4th inning. No score. Time to check out the Michigan National League win leaders. Isn't it Michigan that helped put the fire out? I believe it is. Billy Swift with his 13th win today as the Giants beat the Montreal Expos. And Tommy G going after number 12 tonight.
One of the fire chiefs who was here, David Chamberlain, said their response time was between 4 and 5 minutes. They had a lot of hoses they had to pull to get to the fire, and they estimate the temperature between 16 and 1,800 degrees at the worst of that fire. That's a little south. And I'll tell you what, folks, you've heard the old cliche about fire spreading quickly. It's not a cliche. It happened to us tonight. That was terrifying.
Well, the thing about the smoke, you always hear things about the smoke inhalation and how much damage that does. Everybody learned quickly tonight how much that can affect a person and how quickly you need to get away from an intense fire like that.
Bernard Gilkey leads off the 4th inning and looks at one outside. 1 ball, no strikes. There's Henry Matthews. He's right above where that fire was, and you can see the smoke is still, we can still get a whiff here, but it's awful where he is. A ball and a strike to count.
Sutton told me when he left the press area that he was actually feeling along the floor of the press area when he got to the outer door. It was that intense and that dark in our press room area.
The 1-1 is high and outside. It's 2-1.
And it'll take him months to get the smoke out of his hair.
Oh, nice talk about Sparky. The pitch. Swung and missed. 2-2.
He and Pete over in Philadelphia, wasn't it?
That's right. And they're working together again tonight.
They were over there tonight in the radio booth. Beginning to wonder.
The 2-2 pitch. Just missed. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Again, Glavine into the wind, and the payoff. He walked in, so the leadoff man is aboard in the 4th. Tom issues his first walk of the night, and Todd Zeal, the batter, he flied to right his first time.
One good thing for Glavine tonight, the fact that Greg Jeffries is still not in the lineup. That's why Gerald Perry is in there. And in his career, Jeffries has owned Tom Glavine, hitting well over 300 against him.
Zeal stands in. A little bit outside. 1 ball, no strikes. The stretch. Gilkey scampers back to first base. He has pretty good speed. 10 out of 18 in the stolen base department. The 1-0 pitch. Zeal waits. Gilkey is running. Ground ball tapped to second. Lemke gets to it. Throw to first in time. Zeal didn't quite hit it hard enough. He picked the right spot, but bounced out. Still, the runner is in scoring position with 1 away, and Mark Whitten is the batter.
Talking about that throw last night, Skip, the most impressive thing about it, number one, he got in the right position for it, had all his momentum going toward home plate when he cut it loose. But I don't think it ever got over about head high, and it was caught about knee high when Pagnozzi caught the ball and made the tag.
I was thinking about it on the way home last night. You know, you always think of all the plays you've seen, but I can't recall a better throw than that. I don't know how you could make a better throw than that. I'm sure there have been throws in more dramatic situations, perhaps.
But it was a cuttable ball. Perry could have cut the ball off if he needed to.
He's a good-looking young player. Two balls, no strikes, the count.
He was one of the prized prospects for the Toronto Blue Jays before going to Cleveland. And now living up to the potential everybody saw in him.
Glavine steps back as Whitten steps out of the batter's box. Two balls, no strikes. Lemke in behind the runner. Glavine goes to the plate. Little swinging bunt. Tommy off the mound in good shape. Gonna have to hurry. Threw it low. It gets by McGriff. A run will score. Let's see how far Whitten goes. He is racing for third. And it's 1-0. We'll see how they score it. It's a hit and an error on Glavine and no RBI. So an infield hit for Whitten. The error on Glavine gets the run home.
Glavine tried to pick this ball up and throw flat-footed. He knew he didn't have much time. And as a result, threw it low and threw it right into the runner. That's what made it impossible for Fred McGriff to come up with it.
So the one run is in, and now you try to exercise damage control and keep it right there. A run in, a runner at third, and one out. Jordan doubled on the left field line his first time. Infield comes in. That's how impressed the Braves are with Orocha, and that's how bad the Braves offense has been in recent days. A little bit outside, 1 ball, no strike.
First error committed by Tom Glavine since August 30th, 1990. 152 chances ago and 93 games ago.
1 ball, no strikes. Outside again, it's 2-0. Jordan out of the box. Now he's ready. Infield in for Atlanta. The outfield shades Jordan to the off field. The 2-0 pitch. Here it is. Swung, grounded into left field. That scores the run. Well, the Braves gambled again and lost. That's probably an out with the infield back, but with the infield in, it slipped through. And it's 2-0, and an RBI for Jordan, his 24th of the year, and he's having some series.
Brian Jordan hitting over 400 now with men in scoring position, and he's 4 for his last 4. 2 homers, a double, and this single that probably, as Skip pointed out, would have been an out if the infield's back. 5 for 5 going back to his at bat before the 2 home runs last night. You got to react quick when you're playing in on the grass and no chance for Blauser.
Gerald Perry, the batter, he lined out his first time, hit the ball very hard to Justice. So the Cardinals are on top 2-0. If it stays that way, the Braves will be 10 games out. So time to get cranking. The Giants won earlier today. The Reds beat the Cubs 8-3. High to Perry. In the 9th, Colorado leads Florida 6-3. Pirates beat Houston 2-1. San Diego 1-0 over the Mets in the 2nd. So we're back to just doing TV now. Pete and Don are cranking away over on radio. He chops it foul down the first base line. A ball and a strike is the count. Same 2 teams tomorrow night. Greg Maddux and Joe McGrain will pitch. And then up in Pittsburgh, John Smoltz against Paul Wagner, Steve Avery against Zane Smith, Pete Smith against Bob Walk, and Glavine against Randy Tomlin on Sunday before we leave town. Sweeps outside, 2 balls and a strike. What were you telling me? One of the Cardinals walked up to Lee Smith out in the outfield when the fire was going on and said, "Okay, big guy, put that one out."
Yeah.
Pretty good line.
A writer could have been out there writing them all down tonight.
Yeah, there were a bunch of, many of which we'll leave to your imagination. 2 balls and a strike. 2-4-0 for the Cardinals. 0-1-1 for the Braves.
Batting practice was going on when the fire ignited. Everybody hastened a quick retreat out to the deep right center and right field grass.
He had a home run cut, but he didn't get it, and the count evens 2-2. Yeah, Joe Torre was saying Bobby must have started that. They got the hit, and we didn't. Two balls, 2 strikes. 2 in, 1 out, 1 on. Threw the fastball by him. Perry is out of there for the second out of the inning. Glavine records his second strikeout. And Tom Pagnozzi will be the batter.
Good changeup by Glavine. Had Perry looking back over his shoulder when he walked back to the dugout. And Gerald reaching for it just a little bit too.
Pagnozzi popped to second his first time. They play him around toward right, and that's normally the way he hits the ball. High and away, 1-0. One and 0 the count. It's even now on Pagnozzi, 1-1. Cardinals were to televise this game, but I understand we're unable to do so. Their radio network is in operation, as is ours now. A ball and a strike.
They're still working from their booth, the regular radio booth behind home plate, but it smells like somebody's burning tires over there for them. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, they're going to
look at Mike Shannon.
Look at Shannon, yeah. And Colin, the engineer. Jack's got the duty. He can't wear that gizmo. Well hit to right field, but they had him played perfectly. Justice can't make the catch. It's over his head, and a run is going to try to score. He'll score easily. Pagnozzi is at second. I thought Justice would catch that ball, but it got over his head. And it's 3-0. A big 2-out hit for the Cardinal catcher.
You were talking about how Pagnozzi likes to hit the ball to right field, Skip. That's definitely his spot. But with Justice shading him in a little bit shallow, he didn't expect him to hit the ball over his head. And frankly, I would not have either. That's quite a drive to the off-field by Tom Pagnozzi. And when you've got Brian Jordan on the sacks, an easy score from first base on the 2-out double by the catcher.
Yeah, when the ball popped back over his head toward the infield, you knew it was history. Well, it's 3-0, and the pitcher will hit. 0-1 is the count.
Here's the former Atlanta Falcons safety. Of course, with 2 outs, he was off at the crack of the bat, and then when he saw Bucky Dent waving him, no trouble at all.
0-2 on Arosha. But a disastrous inning for Atlanta. And that blow makes all the runs in the inning earned. That ends the inning. Strikeout number 3 for Glavine, but not before. 3-run score on 3 hits. 1 error was charged. It was costly, and a runner was left. Go to the bottom half of the 4th inning with St. Louis on top 3-0. We go to the bottom half of the 4th, and the Braves, who haven't been hitting a lick, have their work cut out for them, as you see. And that's no mistake down there at the bottom if you just joined us. We did have a fire delay. The club level We still don't know what caused that explosion.
I did hear a report about that.
CO2 or something?
No. Right behind that burned out area there is the darkroom for the photographers. And they think that some of the chemicals in there that they use to develop their film is what caused the explosion.
Oh, it's a mess, that's for sure. Well, time to go to work here. Deion Sanders leads it off. When they tell you that the temperature reached between 16 and 1,800 degrees, that's enough for me. Deion, first pitch swinging, pops it up. That's easy. Ozzie Smith puts it away, one down.
He's jammed him twice.
This guy looks like a pretty good pitcher.
Oh, he's got good movement on his pitches.
And he throws strikes.
And it doesn't seem like he hits the same spot twice in a row. Pagnozzi gives him a target in. Deion can't get around on it.
Jeff Blauser is the hitter, and he hits that ball hard into right field, but Witten is there. 2 pitches, 2 out in the 4th. That ball was hit hard. These guys have played great defense in the first 2 games of this series, too.
You were saying what Joe Torre said about his ball club. I'm very impressed with him. I think they're going to give the Phillies all they want for the rest of the year in that National League East. And Arocha's doing what his ball club would like to see him do. After getting 3 runs, he's right out there trying to get a 3-up and 3-down inning and get his offense back up there.
Ron Gant bats. Take a pitch, Ron, please. He did. It's a strike. At least they're not going to get us out on 3 pitches. 0-1. That ground out was to shortstop by Gant. That's outside, a ball and a strike.
You know, I've always said I enjoy doing broadcasts like, you know, a couple of fans sitting in the stands watching the ball game. Well, I got my wish tonight.
Yes.
I've already been hit by a bag of peanuts. Had Coke poured all over me. Pretty good feeling.
Poor baby. 1-2 the count. I don't want to belabor the point, but I wish people could appreciate, and I know they can't, but the work done by our crew to get this thing on the air is incredible. Our chief audio guy is an old friend, Grover Cleveland Huckabee III, and he and his troops, you'll never know how hard they had to work to pull this thing off.
And they did it in about a half hour. Had everything set up in about 30 minutes.
2 balls, 2 strikes. They're the best in the business. There's no doubt about it. Two balls, 2 strikes. Fred McGriff would be next. He grounded to first on his initial appearance in a Braves uniform. Ground ball sharply hit. Ozzie, long throw. Look at him unload, and the inning is over. Nobody gets rid of the ball any more quickly than does the Wizard of Oz. Nothing doing in the 4th. Arocha has given up a hit, but he's faced the minimum. We go to the 5th. 3-0 St. Louis.
Three nothing. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Let's take another look at Ozzie Smith and regular speed. Watch how he backhands this ball. He's already setting himself up to throw as he's sliding for the ball. He's already beginning to plant his foot and get ready to make the release.
He still dazzles you. Maybe not quite as often as he once did, but he's still better than most. A lot better than most. Luis Alicea leads off the 5th inning. High and outside, 1 ball, no strikes. 3-0 St. Louis is our score. They got him in the 4th. The Giants won their game today. Strike called on the outside corner, evens it up at 1-1. Little looper into right center field. Justice and Sanders come on. Nobody can get there. And it falls for a hit. And the Cardinals have the leadoff man on again. That's the 2nd inning in a row that's happened. Last time it led to 3 runs.
2nd inning in Arocha.
Ozzie has flagged the center and fouled to the catcher. See if they play hit and run with Alicea. He is 3 out of 3 in the stolen base department. Braves think they might and chase the runner back to first. In the American League, Cleveland beat Oakland 9-5. Baltimore shut out Kansas City 7-0. Yankees lost to Seattle 9-5. Toronto beat the White Sox 7-2, and Boston over California 2-1. Minnesota 4-3 over Detroit, and in the bottom of the 7th, Texas 4-1 over Milwaukee.
Don't forget last night, Damon Berryhill 4 for 4 gunning down base stealers.
Line drive up the middle, center field, base hit with the runner going. They're on the corners with nobody out. Things not starting pleasantly for Atlanta in this one. They played the hit and run, and Ozzie hit it right up the middle.
Skip, this ball club does not normally pound you into submission with their home runs, even though they had 3 last night. They are a line drive hitting ball club. Ozzie Smith has been red hot, and his area that he's been working over has been up the middle. And on a hit and run, normally you want to stay away from that area of the ballpark because that's where somebody's going to cover second with the runner moving. But Ozzie still found a hole and a base hit. With Lemke covering, Blauser couldn't get to it.
Leo Mazzoni on his way to the mound, and activity will commence in the Atlanta bullpen. Steve Bedrosian is going to get up along with Kent Merker.
About a half hour before this game started, I made a trip up into the clubhouse to get something to drink, and I saw Tom Glavine, and he was in the, dining area, if you will, of the clubhouse, kind of just pacing around, just walking laps around the dining area. I asked him if he was antsy to get started, and he said, no, not really, meaning he wasn't that nervous about it or that anxious to get started. But I know that the delay certainly probably threw him out of sync a little bit.
He gave up a hit in the second, a hit in the third, 3 in the fourth, and 2 already here in the 5th. Former Braves manager Joe Torre looks on. They're on the corners. Good speed on the bases. Good speed in the batter's box. Infield plays back, trying to stay out of the big inning. Outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Well, it was very scary before the game, and now if you're a Braves fan, it's a little scary during it. Fouled back. Looked like he took a shot at right field. And the count evens at a ball and a strike.
All the Cardinals appear to be good situational hitters. They're all willing to take a pitch or two. They're willing to hit the ball to the opposite field, try to find the hole that you see there on the right side with Ozzie at first. That's why they've improved that run production you saw earlier.
Ground ball to third. Runner comes home. They turn it on him. They've got him hung up. Running back toward third. Did he get him yet? A 5-2 gets Alicea. And a good job by Berryhill to keep Ozzie Smith from getting beyond second base.
If Damon Berryhill gives up the ball too early after the throw from Pendleton, if he gets him headed back to third and gives it up too soon, then they run Alicea back to home plate, and that's when Ozzie Smith takes third. But Berryhill did a good job of pump faking his throws, and that's what caused Alicea to head back to third and then slow down enough that Damon could get him.
Tell you what, if he keeps going, I think he makes it. Terry's throw was very high. Berryhill had to reach high to get it, but by then Alicea had made up his mind to try to get caught in the rundown. Well, let's see if the Braves can utilize that good fortune to get out of this inning and stay in the game. First and second now with 1 out. Todd Zeile, the batter. Throwing away, 1 ball, no strike. Zeile 0 for 2.
He might have been able just to run him right back to the bag, even if he doesn't make the tag here, and run him right on into left field and then make it.
With all that equipment on, that would be very tiring. The 1-0 pitch. 2 balls, no strikes. It's 3-0 Cardinals, and they threaten to get more here in the 5th. But the Braves now with a good chance to get out of the inning. Zeal and Witten are the batters they have to get. Three balls, no strikes. That didn't miss by much, and now Glavine. I know this about Joe Torre. He is a riverboat gambler. I'm not saying he'll have him swinging, but it wouldn't surprise me if he did.
Zeal had his 16-game hitting streak snapped like last night, so he's been swinging the bat very well.
He's taking, and it's a strike, and it's 3-1. Bedrosian and Merker about ready if needed in the Atlanta bullpen, but Glavine trying to pitch through this 5th. Three and two. Now what do you do, Joe Torre? Do you send the runners on the 3-2 pitch with one out? I'm betting he will.
I would, because Todd Zeal's not the typical cleanup slugger. In fact, he's only got 4 home runs, batting in the cleanup spot. Good contact hitter, and he needs to play it as a hitter, like a hit and run. Make sure he puts the ball in place somewhere to protect him.
The 3-2, they run, line drive, right field, base hit. A run is in. The other runner races to third. They missed the cutoff man, but Zeal is unable to move up, and he went the other way, and it's 4-0, and the Braves' problems continue. And Mark Witten will be the batter. They are first and third in us to death. Zeal drives in his 47th run.
And watch how he goes after this pitch. Nice inside-out stroke. Teams are beginning to do this to Tom Glavine more and more. They're beginning to giving up the inside part of the plate and then adjust, and then when he tries to throw the changeup away or run the fastball away, they're ready and they hit the line drives to right field.
So Steve Bedrosian gets the call out of the Atlanta bullpen, and we'll be back right after this. Steve Bedrosian on to pitch and trying to put out the fire, but no pun intended. It's 4-0 St. Louis. They're on the corners with one out, and their hottest hitter is coming to the plate. Glavine went 4 1/3, 8 hits, 4 runs to this point, 3 strikeouts and a walk. Witten, switch hitter, turns around and bats from the left side. He's hitting .248 left-handed, .272 right-handed, but 9 of his 15 homers have come from the left side. Infield back, hopeful of turning a double play for Atlanta. Bedrosian ready to go to work. Wild pitch. It pops right back. They got a shot at the plate. He is safe. Berryhill started to make the play himself, then decided to throw it. And on a bang-bang play, they beat the Raft. Gilkey has scored, and it's 5-0.
That ball came back so quickly to Damon that Steve Bedrosian couldn't get to the plate in time to take the feed. Damon popped up as it came back quickly to him off the concrete surrounding the camera position behind home plate. And you can see Steve was only about halfway to home plate. Berryhill tried to lead him. The tag was applied, but his foot got across before the glove came down.
Good call by Terry Tata.
Yes. Good call.
That's in there, and the count evens at 1-1.
And a lot of speed by Gilkey, too, able to beat the tag.
The 1-1. He had a home run cut, but he didn't get it. It's 1-2. So 2 more runs are in, and it's 5-0 St. Louis. And the Braves, unless they can rally, will be 10 games out of first. I don't believe, I'm quite sure we haven't been 10 out all year. The 1-2 will not be made. Bedrosian steps off the mound. ball left field. Gant is there waiting. He's got it for the second out. And Brian Jordan is the batter. Jordan, a double, a single. He scored a run. He's driven one in. He's had 5 hits in a row. He has scored 3 runs in this series and driven in the same number. Runner at second, 2 out, but 2 have scored. On the corner, 0-1. Pete Van Weer and Don Sutton will join you at the end of this half inning, and hopefully we'll do a more profitable job than we've been able to for you Braves fans. He foul-tipped it into the glove.
You know, all year long there have been 4 guys trying to squeeze into 3 spots in the Braves outfield. This foursome they've got working right now for the Cardinals, quite a talented group too, with Quitten, Lankford, Gilkey, and Jordan. And Joe Torre trying to make sure everybody gets enough at-bats and enough playing time. Seems to be working out pretty well right now.
Colorado went ahead and beat the Marlins 6-3 the final here. The 0-2 pitch to Brian Jordan. Line drive, right field, Justice on the run. That's a foul ball. He just missed another double.
And just missed hitting Kent Merker. Look at the legs in that guy. He can talk about strong.
He's a big, strong man.
Listed at 6'1", 205.
Just did stay alive. Almost had the fastball by. It's still 0-2. Oh, you talk about a tough night at the ballpark. We've had one here tonight.
I think everybody around and everybody concerned just thrilled that it happened when it happened.
Oh, if it had happened at 7:15 or so. Hate to think what would have happened here. Oh, here comes an extension cord. Good. The stretch. The pitch. High pop foul out of play. Still 0-2, the count to Jordan.
Steve Bedrosian has made several pitches to Jordan here, trying to polish him off 0-2, and has yet to really throw one off the plate to waste a pitch to see if he'll go after it.
There's one off the plate, a little chin music. 1-2, the count. Again, if you joined us late, Braves have optioned Brian Hunter to Richmond to make room on their roster for Fred McGriff. I have no reason for this, but I don't think they're through dealing yet. Boy, this is a pretty good duel. Another good Bedrosian fastball, but he spoiled it.
He's got some quick hands. What bothered him, I think, when he was first making his arrival here in the big leagues, like it happens to so many young players, they have a little trouble adjusting to some breaking balls. They get set up by some of the veteran pitchers. But his quickness, very obvious here on the fastball.
The 1-2. Way high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. pop foul back and out of play. The Braves have not been 10 or more out since the last day of the 1990 season. And they're not 10 out yet, but they're 9.5 at the moment and trailing 5-0.
Well, that's the same area that the Cardinals were in back in late June, but they were able to recover from that and climb right back in the pennant race with the Phillies, but they had to get some help from the Phillies to do it.
So far, the Giants have not been very cooperative. Foul back again.
That foul ball in an area right over in the control room where they operate the scoreboard and message board here at the stadium, and you see the masks in that area too. It was completely filled with smoke. You couldn't even see in the glass from the field during the fire.
So you're getting out of there is about as scared as I've ever been.
Well, you had a little one to get out too.
Yeah. He did fine, but it was scary. Got him with a breaking ball, and the inning is over. But another profitable one for St. Louis. They score 2 times on 3 hits and leave 1 after 4.5. 5-0.
I